Howdy, howdy, what is going on, everybody? I have a special review for y'all here today. This gigantic creature from Hammond Collection. We have the Giginotosaurus, or Giginotosaurus? There's a lot of, I've heard this pronounced many ways. This is actually a species that I don't know much about, so I was, you know me, had to do my research. Very interesting to learn about new species. And Giginotosaurus is actually Greek or Latin for southern lizard. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But this is a really giant figure, man. I did not expect this to be quite this big. But I got this off Amazon for like it was 50 bucks retail, I believe, and then it was on sale for $10 off. So with shipping and everything like that, it's about $44, and I'm excited to get this thing open. So let me not waste any more time and crack it open. Just to review articulation here, I got a full body shot. This is a pretty big freaking figure, man. You can see the tail has two splits in here, so this is a hard plastic, and then you got the wire rubber tail here, so you can pose that as you want. And after I will go over articulation, I will show y'all closer detail at the paint and sculpting. Then getting here at the hips, got the normal back and forth pivot in the hips right here. Here at the knee, he's got, that's him straight out. Then you can bend it about that far. So there's some bend in the knee, bend right here as well. Well, if I can bend right here. Some of these joints are a little tight. You need to sometimes if you get them, you just need to kind of start loosening them up a little bit. And then right here at the feet as well. Go down about that far and come up pretty fair amount. The dew claw on this is painted, so that's pretty sweet. See the dew claw right there? A lot of times Mattel misses those. So decent range out of the hips here. Get pretty much all the way up to the side. You can get far back too. It's pretty nice. And then as far as the arms, these are tight joints. He can get his arm straight out to the side. Got a decent hinge here in the elbow right here, so you can get about that much, but right at a 90-degree angle right here, as you can see, not too bad. And then we do have the claw hands, got a horizontal hinge here on both the right and left claw. And for some reason, this side is a little bit stiffer, especially right here on the wrist. I'm having a really hard time. It wants to I might have to, oh, there it goes. It's just, sometimes if you get them, you just need to kind of get them loosened up and just kind of get them worn in a little bit. Sometimes you can also hit them with the famous collector trick, the hair dryer, or drip them in let it soak in some hot water for a moment. It is some tight joints on here though. There we go. Try to put it in a little more of a natural position. This thing is huge, y'all. Sorry, I'm not used to reviewing, so this is giant, man. But just try to get into a nice pose here. The mouth articulation is the way that the jaws work is the sculpt on the top of the head just kind of bunches into each other, and I'll show y'all that in a close-up too. But you can get some decent range out of the jaws here, and the tongue is also articulated. You can put it, hear that click, then so you can have it and do those two locked positions, so that's pretty cool for posability. Got soft rubber teeth, and they do have a wash on there. Like I said, after I show you our articulation, I will go over all the paint and sculpting and all that cool stuff. Got some decent neck articulation here, so looking down at them from the front, about that much back and forth. Also here at the neck, there's a little bit of back and forth to get even more. Like that. He can look, can't really, okay, that's about as far up. He can look down about that far. Get right there. So just trying to give y'all a full view of how the articulation works. This is a giant animal, man. I don't really like how the jaw is right here. The sculpt right here at the top of his head is a little wonky. I don't really like how it, maybe I got a dud. I don't know, the jaws just don't feel sturdy on this compared to some of the other Hammond collections that I have. The Carnotaurus and the Therizinosaurus and the Allosaurus as well. I don't know, man. But overall, this thing is it's giant, man. It is huge. Got some nice ratchet joints here. You can hear them right there. Nice to have some ratchet joints for a big figure like this being able to stand up on its own. Yeah, the jaw closes a little wonky. I don't know. Maybe it's just mine. Like on this side, the jaw's not even connected right here. It's like totally sticking out. So maybe I might need to put some glue on that or something. Keeps wanting to pop up. I don't know if y'all can see that right here. On this side, it's not as bad. So I don't know. That's kind of interesting. But overall, that is pretty much the overview of all the articulation on this freaking giant animal, man. This guy was found in Chile by I forget his full name, but his last name was Carolini. So this was named the Giginotosaurus-Carolini after the guy who first found the first bone that was found was the tibia, which is your lower shin or the lower leg part. And then they ended up finding a I think it was the top piece of the skull. It's not complete, but this was a giant creature. This was only rivaled in size by the Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Spinosaurus from my research that I was reading about. But it also did not have quite this much spiking or like this spine going down. This is just the Jurassic World interpretation, obviously. And also the feet on these are far too big. It would have been, the feet should be much smaller, but for balance purposes, I can look past it. There's good purpose for these to be bigger feet. But this is an awesome looking theropod to add to my collection. He is freaking giant. I had no idea just how big he was, but man, he looks menacing, dude. He looks awesome. I'm really happy with it. Really decent size for $44 too. I don't know, man. I'm pretty pleased. A lot of nice osteoderm look. The shoots going down, kind of like an alligator or a crocodile. Really badass, man. But that's articulation. Let me give you all a look at the paint and sculpt. And we'll just start off here at the head and work our way down to the claws, to the toes. And you can see these got a nice rubbery. They're individually sculpted, so it gives them a sharper look. There's even a nice wash on them to give it like a slight yellowed look. Really nice. The glass eye on these is kind of, it could be a lot better. It's a little too, that pupil's a little too recessed. It should be a lot more on the front of the glass eye. So you have to look at it a certain way to really catch that pupil. And even then it's a little foggy. See, then it's just yellow. But these glass eyes are hit or miss on the Hammond collection. So you're like right there, it looks decent. As far as the other side goes, this thing's so huge, I'm trying not to knock anything off my shelf or my desk. But then looking now on this side, this one's a little bit better on this side. You can see it's a little more centered, not quite as recessed, you know. Still further back there, it should be more on the front of the eyeball for sure. But just look at the texture on the skin here. The spine's going down like the osteoderm look. The shoots. Look at the spike right here, man. Oh, shit, hit my camera. Y'all, this figure is giant, man. What a giant creature. And like I said earlier, only rivaled in size by the Spinosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Although the Tyrannosaurus Rex would probably win because it's got a much stronger bite force. From my research, my reading, the teeth on this species, they were much more of like ambush hunters, and their teeth were more so meant for slashing. Got some nice look at the arms. The nails are painted here. That's always nice to see. Sorry, I'm trying to get this nice and focused for y'all. Just real nice texture on the skin here. Nice beige going on the belly. Oh, shit, damn. Y'all, this is awful camera work. This thing is so giant. I'm used to reviewing 6-inch figures, man. What is this? Also, some nails down here are painted, and the dew claw is painted. Way to go, Mattel. Good job. Once again, just beautiful texturing and patterning here for the paint, for the skin. Nice folds here on the belly, as you can see. This is awesome. Really, really awesome looking figure. I am a big fan of the rubber tail. I know some people have their concerns with this rubber material, like, degrading or eroding over time, but I'm pretty pleased with it, man. Give you a quick look at the other side. Really dope looking figure, man. The paint is really, really sweet on this. It's got a really cool pattern. And like I said earlier, this spike is not accurate to the real genuine Giginotosaurus that lived. And just look at this in here. I forgot to point this out. The inside of the gums right here is like an actual like rubbery material, which is just so rad, man. A really nice touch. Give you a nice look at the teeth again with that nice yellowish wash on it, all individually sculpted. The tongue also has a nice texture and rubbery feel to it as well. Hear that click? Here's the inside of the mouth for you. So very, very cool, man. You can open it up way wider. So, but here's what I was showing y'all with the top of the jaw here. Just kind of rides up on the sculpt again. It works, but look how far out this is from. I feel like it should just be. I don't know. I feel like it's getting like pushed off some kind of way, but it does. I mean, I guess it works. You know, just feels a little clunky. I like to watch this guy. His YouTube channel is Marco Makes, and dude, he does a great job fixing some of these mistakes that Mattel makes. Like, he's an actual designer. See, I have to close the jaw, but once it's closed, it looks good. I don't want to close those teeth too. I don't want to mess those teeth up too bad. But even with the jaw closed, it looks really freaking cool, man. Awesome looking figure right here. Found in Argentina, same place as the Carnotaurus. So cool, man. Just a couple side-by-side comparisons to give you an idea of scale here. Here on the right is the Therizinosaurus, my very first Hammond collection figure ever, what started my dinosaur addiction. Here in the middle is the Carnotaurus, which was also found in Argentina. Same place. So these guys pretty much lived alongside each other from what I understand. You can just see how gargantuan the Giginotosaurus is compared to these two. Here in the middle is the Allosaurus. Love this figure. Here on the right is the Mattel Dino Trekkers Habitat Defender Triceratops, a very accurate representation for Triceratops species. They were most of the time they're slightly underscaled on the Mattel line, but Triceratops was as big as an African elephant, so very gargantuan creature. And then here on the very far right is the juvenile Triceratops. Here on the far right is the Lost World Tiger Stripe Velociraptor, probably one of my favorite designs for a raptor, other than the male JP3 raptor. And then here next to that is the Hammond Collection Pachycephalosaurus. Here next to that is the Hammond Collection Atrociraptor. So my one nitpick about this figure is that the way the jaw opens and closes, it doesn't feel secure or very stable, and that's just, it feels a little cheap when I'm playing with it, messing around with it. I just didn't really care for that very much. But other than that, the rest of the figure is a lot of fun to play with. It poses really great. It's just gargantuan, man. This thing is giant. But like I said, I think this is the third or fourth time I've mentioned this. This was a really giant creature and was as big as the Spinosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus. So you're just a huge, giant, carnivorous theropod, man. But just so interesting, man. This is obviously a very dramatic take and theatrically made, intended, entertainment purposed interpretation of the Giganotosaurus. But either way, is that the fact that this is based off of a true carnivorous dinosaur that once roamed this earth is just kind of wild to me, man. But that's pretty much all that I have for this review. If you're wanting to get into dinosaurs, this is definitely a fun one to add to your little park, man. It's just giant, man. The skull looks incredible. The little like shoots and osteoderm look. The tail, wired rubber tail is fantastic. The dew claws, the nails on the fingernails and the toenails are painted. It just looks fantastic. The articulation is good. The ratchet joints in the hips make sure that it's going to hold the weight of this figure, and it just very, very awesome looking figure. Like I said, the sculpt is incredible. The patterning on his skin is really, really cool. Got a very earthy hunter vibe to it. But then there's even like some little dry brushing of some red in here on his back osteoderms and his spines right here, and then on the back of his head. This thing's good. This thing's got some nice paint. It's got some very nice paint. And then, as I said earlier in the review, the feet are a little too big to be. We've already established that this is entertainment purposes and also figure purposes. The feet need to be bigger for balance reasoning, and then also this is the spikes added as It's almost like a Godzilla look-alike, not quite, but y'all get what I'm saying by the spikes going down the spine there. But before I ramble on any longer, I do appreciate y'all checking out this review today. Another Hammond collection figure in the books, man. I am on fire with these dinos, man. Gotta blame my guy, my boy Connor Calaruso, man. He's gotten me and our little circle in on dinosaurs as of late. But I do hope you're all having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Take it easy. Thanks for watching.